video, it means that you probably joined Vectors Group team or you are planning to join Vectors Group team. So either way, welcome and thank you for your interest in being part of our family. I'm a retired Navy captain. Originally, I'm an underwater acoustics engineer and my BS degree is in computer science, computer and control systems. But when I was in the Navy for 30 years, I had a vision. When I was a young lieutenant, I was envisioning this Vectors Institute, people all around the world, researchers, practitioners all around the world, coming together, working together to make a difference for humanity, helping organizations that help people. So that was my dream. And the reason for this name, the Vectors, I want you to look at our logo, okay? So as you can see, there are several arrows, vectors. So every single organization or individual is kind of a vector. It has a magnitude, it has a direction, it has its own capacity, own vision, own culture, own beliefs, own value. But if we can find a way to align all vectors in the same direction, the sum vector will be the biggest, right? So imagine if we are in opposite directions, our contribution will be very weak. But if we can find a way to work together, then our sum vector will be the biggest. If you look at the different colors in our logo, you will notice that it represents our inclusive approach. So our doors are open to everyone who has a value and passion to help other people. So if you are one of them, then you are at the right place. It's a business, but we see Vectors Group as a social enterprise because we don't do this just for money, right? We do this to make a difference. Just like charities and nonprofit organizations, this is our passion to help organizations organizations that help people. So keeping that in mind, this is the core philosophy, okay? So everything we do must have a reason, must have a benefit for the society. Of course, for our own sustainability, we also need to generate revenue, but remember, this is not our primary concern. But of course, we also need to make a sustainable business structure to ensure our own survival. So you will have plenty of time and opportunities to ask questions to me or to other people in the team. But I will quickly summarize what services we offer, what Vectors Group is. Maybe a practical analogy to explain the function of Vectors Group is to use one-stop solution center. I used to use this analogy, the concept of pit stop of Formula One cars. Okay, let me explain. I'm sure you are familiar with the Formula One cars, the race cars, the fancy, fast, eye-catching Formula One cars. I love them. So I see nonprofit organizations as Formula One cars, the best cars in the world, fantastic organizations, okay? And the people who are working in nonprofit organizations, not just the decision makers or the managers, but everyone who is working in a nonprofit organization is kind of Formula One driver, the people who drives these fantastic organizations. And we define ourselves as the pit stop of nonprofit organizations. So you must have seen that race cars just stopping at the pit stop, making some adjustments, taking gas and changing tires and lots of support and then get back on their track. So this is what we do. We try to be the one-stop solution center, the pit stop of nonprofit organizations. But it's not just changing the tires or adding more gas, okay? So typically in a pit stop, Formula One pit stop, there are over 2,000 performance indicators that needs to be measured and managed. So we are trying to build a capacity that includes everything, right? So whatever nonprofit organizations are needing, we need to provide that service. So we try to build a big capacity to be able to help nonprofit organizations in any way that is possible. Of course, there are some services that we prioritize. Let me go to our website and I will briefly explain what our services, what our primary and other services are. So we are a social enterprise. I honestly expect you to and hope you to understand the philosophy behind our logo. And if you go to our website and click on services, you will see several services. On the top, we have our top 3 core competencies, core services. The first one is strategic evaluation and planning. The second one is risk management, and the third one is funding diversification. So we are one-stop solution center. So for nonprofit organizations, we have research components, right? So we do lots of research. We try to be the bridge or build bridges between academia and the nonprofit sector and the communities and the governments. So we try to build a hub. So we do lots of research. We develop our own methodologies. So our methodologies are practical, efficient, powerful, and accurate. Okay, so this is our core focus when we develop a methodology. And I use another analogy to explain what I expect from our methodologies. Imagine someone trying to eat spaghetti with bare hands. Okay, so and this person has never seen a fork in her life, and she eats the spaghetti. And just visualize the mess. Okay, so it may be tasteful, but obviously it will be very messy to eat spaghetti with bare hands. And one day suddenly somebody brings a fork, and this fork makes a big difference. It simplifies everything. It makes her life much easier, right? So she still does the same thing, but in a much more efficient way. So this is the results, the outcome that I expect from Vectors Group methodologies. So in the last 20 years, or if not more, my colleagues and I developed several methodologies, to simple but powerful methodologies to assist nonprofit leaders and professionals. The first one is strategic evaluation and planning. Okay, so this is also one of our core products. Strategic evaluation and planning. It's also a very popular product in the nonprofit sector. Most of the nonprofit organizations renew their strategic plan every 3-5 years. Okay, so it's also a big market, but also it is very essential for the sustainability and the growth of the nonprofit organization. So we have a methodology. It has scientific rules, but we kept all of our methodologies simple on purpose. Okay, so we have done reliability validity analysis. We have done lots of literature review. We have done benchmarking. We compared with empirical data, and in the last couple of decades, we were able to utilize some of our tools and see their results in the real life. So we are very confident about our methodology. Vectors Group may not be one of the top 10 biggest consulting companies, but in terms of scientific capacity and utilizing our own solution sets, I think we can easily be in the top 10 because we have our unique, scientifically proven, efficient methodologies. And the first one is strategic planning. So you can visit the link on our website. So this is our Vista Strategic Management Framework. We call it framework because it's a combination of several tools, models, methodologies, and tools, but it's a comprehensive solution. If you look at the picture, you will notice that it comprehends everything. It includes everything: stakeholders, structure of the organization, the systems, the impact of the organization, And at the foundation, we have this actions, projects, and then the first layer is strategic evaluation. And then we have strategic development. This is just the general, the most general view of the strategic management framework, Vista strategic management framework. But every single layer has its own tools and methodologies. So it's much bigger than what you see on the screen. But for now, it's good enough to understand that we have a methodology that comprehends all aspects of strategic management in a nonprofit organization. It's quantitative. We measure. This is important to understand. Okay, so we measure instead of just saying subjective things. We actually measure where the organization is today, where they want to be in the future, and then what they need to do to achieve their objectives. So strategic evaluation and planning is the first one. So for strategic evaluation, actually, we have a tool that is called ESEP, Executive Strategic Evaluation Tool. It's the first layer of the Vista Strategic Management Framework. And as you can see, that this is data set from a nonprofit organization. Just to give you an idea how it works, we collect data, we visualize the results. The visualization helps decision makers to focus on what really matters, and then we visualize where they are, where they want to be in the future, and finally wrap up everything to develop an actionable strategic plan. So actionable strategic plan, measurable strategic plan, those are things that distinct us from all other consulting companies and researchers. It's not just subjective interpretation. Okay, so we actually measure, and I use this example. So imagine I'm talking to my children and I tell them, I want you to be a good student. And they say, what is good student, Dad? But if I say, I want your average to be 85, and if their average is 65, then we can see the gap and we can together develop a process or a strategy to increase their marks from that level to the level that we intend to see. Okay, so this is the power of visualization and using numbers. But we also use qualitative tools. We consult with board members, the staff members, the key stakeholders. So it's a process. It usually takes 3 to 4 months to develop a strategic plan. We engage with all stakeholders of the nonprofit organization. We collect data, we process data, and at the end, we deliver an actionable strategic plan that reflects the joint decision of the board members and all key stakeholders who are involved in that process. The second service is risk management. Okay, so for risk management, there are 3 videos on our website. I suggest you to check them. Risk management is not that popular in the nonprofit sector, but it is one of our core competencies because my colleague, Professor Rick Nason from Dalhousie University, and I wrote a book on risk management for nonprofit organizations. Okay, so it's published. It's published in United States, and just before the pandemic, it was very timely, and we worked with Tim Hortons Children Foundation on risk management. It gave us a lot of credibility and visibility in that domain. So risk management is not that popular, but whenever somebody needs someone on risk management, I think we are the best. So they cannot find any better organization to handle risk management. And the third service is funding diversification. So the top 3 on the top of the list are actually our core competencies: strategic evaluation and planning, risk management, and funding diversification. Funding diversification entails grant applications, right? Not just grant applications, social enterprise or fund development, event organizations, membership structures, partnership building. But we do all of them, but we put emphasis on grant writing, because grant writing is probably the most popular product in the nonprofit sector. So for grant writing as well as other services, we have our own methodology. I suggest you to explore our website. Okay, so we have seven-stage grant application process. We start with grant research. We continuously explore grant opportunities in Canada and in the United States. We do needs analysis and we do the matching. Okay, so we find the grant, we find the organization, we come up with the idea, and we do the matching. The third phase is idea generation. Okay, so we need to come up with ideas that will make the funders happy and increase the chances of our clients, and then at every stage we consult this with our clients and get their approval. When they approve, we go to the project planning phase, coalition formation. We encourage partnership. Okay, so this is also our core philosophy, right? So working together, aligning all vectors in the same direction. So we do this for our clients too. When they apply for a grant, we try to find partners for them. So it's perfect. So everybody wins. It's a win. It doesn't matter how many partners you have. It's always a win for every single partner in the process. So our grant application, I suggest you to go through our website. So and understand our 7-stage grant application process. Another product that we developed is grant readiness. Okay, so organizations must be ready for grants. Even when they have the best project proposals, they may not get funded because of some various reasons. So they need to be ready in 4 areas. I see them as 4 tires of a car. If any of them is flat, the car will not go. So similarly, if any of those capacities, the 4 capacities, as you can see, financial capacity, operational capacity, governance capacity, and partnership capacity, if any of them is not good, the organization cannot go far. So we also help organizations to become grant ready, to build capacity to become investment ready or grant ready. So grant readiness is becoming ready to win grants, and investment readiness is a broader term, becoming ready to get funds from the government or from donors or from social enterprise. So let me go back to our services page. So we have several services. We help organizations to build social enterprise, help them to develop business plan or implement their business plan, or increase the efficiency of their operations, anything you can think of to assist nonprofit organizations or social enterprises. Training programs. We have Vectors Institute as a sister company. It's another story, and probably I will talk about Vectors Institute in another video. But for now, just I want you to understand that we are like a micro university. So we find the instructors, we develop the curriculum, we deliver the program, and we try to help the people in the nonprofit sector and the private sector and the government sector to gain skills to get promoted or to be more efficient. We also provide social media marketing support to nonprofit organizations and charities. If they need, we provide financial management. We work with CPA certified accountants if needed. We do process evaluation and reporting. This is part of project management, and most of the grants, they seek project evaluation and reporting at the final stage. We help nonprofit organizations in project management if they need it. Strategic management, it's different than strategic planning. It's the implementation of the strategic plan. If there's a need, we can help them with that too. We develop policies for nonprofit organizations, human resources policy, financial policy, governance policy, mental health policy, or diversity, equity, inclusion policy, any policy you can think of. Digital transformation, we help them to become digital, right? So having functional and efficient website and social media accounts. If they need a change, we have change management solutions. We can also measure their impact. We have our own methodologies. We can analyze their operations. We can even provide virtual staff to smaller organizations that cannot afford to have a full-time employee. And we offer online consulting services if they need anything. And finally, we have Salesforce and web development teams on our board, and whenever needed, we partner with them to provide the best solution for our clients. So that, in a nutshell, that was the summary of our services. Of course, it may not be enough to grab everything, but it will give you a fundamental information about what Vectors Group does and where you can contribute. So we keep our structure as flexible as possible to motivate and empower people to create value where they feel comfortable, right? So if you are better in grant writing, you can excel in grant writing. If you want to gain skills in strategic evaluation and planning, this is also welcome too. So welcome again, and I hope you will enjoy your journey at Vectors Group. We believe in partnership, so I'm confident that you will bring value and you will help us to become better. So Vectors Group is a joint initiative. I'm the founder, but I don't take the ownership or the credit just myself. Many people contributed to Vectors Group to come to that level, and I'm confident that you will also add value for us to become even better. So thank you for joining our team and welcome. Thank you.